Isn't it funny that a sister will go out here and buy Pookie everything but won't help him get a job?
Now available for the first time in paperback. Why 70% of black women are single. Learn all the reasons why so many black women can't find a husband and why 70% of black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today.
Many of your educated professional black women are involved with a Pookie. And as these professional educated black women are involved with this Pookie, they will go out of their way to buy this man whatever he wants. Now, these black women who get involved with this Pookie, what they will do is go out here and spend lots of money to take care of this Pookie by going out here and taking him over to places like Best Buy, buying him a big screen TV and the video game system that he wants so he can sit on her sofa all day, going out here and playing the latest games as he's on her internet, going out here and playing your Madden or your Mortal Kombat while he beefs and argues with other men. And your black woman will also go out here and spend money on your Pookie to make him look extra fly with the latest gear. And she will also head over to the sneaker store like a Foot Locker or even head on to Nike.com to pre-order the latest color Air Force Ones or the latest pair of Jordans. And as he's looking real fly, some of these black women will have this guy driving around in her car, and as they're dropping her off at work, what they're doing is going out here tricking this car out with forged Rucci wheels and a forged Rucci steering wheel, and also putting a fiberglass speaker box in the trunk as they cruise around, appearing to be a fly dude on this educated professional black woman's dollar. And I find it interesting that your educated professional black woman will go out here and spend all of this money on this Pookie and say that she's doing this to improve this man's life. However, she won't go out here and get that man the information that will help him get his own job and help him go out here and get the money to pay for his own stuff and be able to go out here and be able to give him the job that will allow him to take care of himself. I find it very interesting that your educated professional black woman will go out here and buy Pookie whatever she wants, but she won't go out here and help this man go out here and find his own job to make his own money. Because I believe that your black woman doesn't want your Pookie to have a job, and the reason why she doesn't want your Pookie to have a job is because she wants to have power over that man, and she believes that by going out here and buying things for him, she can control the relationship. Now, your educated professional black woman is a product of your single mother household, and as a product of a single mother household, she has seen her mother being mistreated by men, and in order for her to have power in the relationship, she believes she has to use her economic power as the breadwinner as leverage to go out here and control a man so that he cannot go out here and abuse her or abandon her. So because she fears being abused or abandoned by a man who has his own economic agency, while she talks about improving this man's life by buying him things so that she can be his companion, she doesn't want to go out here and take the action that would actually improve the quality of that man's life. And many of these Pookies, because they think that, oh, this woman is taking care of me because their single mother is taking care of them, what they don't understand is they're going from a codependent relationship with their single mother to a codependent relationship with their girlfriend. And neither relationship was healthy, because in each relationship, this man never had any of his own agency or was encouraged to have any of his own agency. No, he was taught to depend on a woman for his economic needs, and taught that this woman was the one who had all of the power in the relationship. And because this woman has all of the power in the relationship, what happens to this man is that he sits there and looks for her to meet his needs, instead of learning to go out here and be the head that God wants him to be. Because the Most High wants the man to be the head. He established him to be the head, and the woman was supposed to be the helpmeet and help him as related to building a family. But many of these women, they fear black men having power, and they go out here and look to keep that black man from having power. One, due to their abandonment issues and their daddy issues, and two, because they want to receive benefits from the white supremacist system. Now, your black woman, in a lot of cases, again, she doesn't want to help this man get a job, because if this man has a job, this completely changes the dynamics of the relationship between that man and that woman. Because if you have a black man who is out here and he's working, what's happening is that whole going to work is changing him as a man. And instead of them having a codependent relationship where he's coming to her like a child and begging for an Xbox, begging for a big screen TV, begging for a leather jacket, begging for Rucci wheels, begging for Timberland Spice Tans and Nike Air Force Ones and Jordans, begging for things. He's out here making his own money, and as he's making his own money, his mind is changing, because as a man who is making his own money, what's happening to that Pookie is he's starting to become his own man. And when you start working, and I can tell you from experience, your whole mindset changes, and it changes because you start going out here and having some confidence, and you have confidence because you start having some purpose, and as you have purpose, you start looking to go out here and give into your natural instincts of leadership, your natural instincts of stewardship, and your natural instincts as related to going out here and setting a direction for yourself. And that's something that basically terrifies a lot of the educated professional black women out here, because when a man starts to get purpose, when a man starts to get confidence, once a man starts to get some semblance of a direction for himself and starts saying what he wants in his life, what happens is that man starts taking power in his life. And that is the thing that terrifies your black woman who has been traumatized by those early years of abuse that she possibly suffered in that home with that single mother, as men were coming in and out of her life, having the father abandon the family, or having a strained relationship with the family, or having these men come in and out of her life. What really terrifies her is the fact that this man is starting to gain power, and she gets scared about the idea of this man starting to take power over himself. And as he starts to take power over himself, what this woman fears is that this man is going to go out here and challenge her. And instead of him being in this codependent son-husband relationship, he is going to start standing up to be a man. And that is one of the reasons why many of your black women who are working in corporate America do not want to help any black man go out here and get that job, because they fear that if that black man goes out here and gets that job, what will happen is he is again going to start getting confidence. He's going to start getting purpose. He's going to start setting a course for his direction. And she fears that she may not be a part of that relationship because having the relationship she has all of the power, and she fears relinquishing that power. I talk about this in depth in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, and one of the reasons why many relationships between black men and black women deteriorate is because many black women do not want to go out here and share power with their husbands, and they don't want to submit to the men in their lives. And that's one of the reasons why they choose Pookie in the first place, because they want to have a male in their lives, but they don't want to follow the lead of a man. And a job is something that allows a man to start taking the lead in his life. And this is why many of your professional black women collude with your white supremacy to keep heterosexual black men out of the job market. They collude to keep heterosexual black men out of the job market because they do not want those men going out here and taking power, because they fear that these black men, once they start to take power, they fear that they may wind up leaving them in for other women, and others fear that they may wind up having to deal with these men challenging them and changing their codependent relationship into an interdependent one, where they will be forced to go out here and have to take responsibility for themselves and be forced to go out here and deal with a man who can push back against them as he takes his role as head of that relationship. Many of these women do not want to relinquish that power, and because they don't want to relinquish that power, this is the main reason why they don't want your Pookie to go out here and get a job, because if Pookie gets a job, then they have to deal with a man who is going to start again building himself up and changing his perception of self, because again, once you get on a job as a man, again, your whole perception of self completely changes, your whole mindset changes, and as you're on that job and you're seeing that you can go out here and do things, you can go out here and accomplish things, you can go out here and get things done, and you're having money as you're getting paid to start having some sort of power as related to your own money, you're completely changing as a person. And in a lot of cases, these women can't deal with those changes because you're becoming a man, and they want to keep you in the state where you're still a child. And this is why, again, your educated professional black woman does not want Pookie to get a job, because she doesn't want to deal with a full-grown man with a full-grown man's mindset, and she would rather keep the Pookie in the child role, because keeping the Pookie in the child role, this makes her feel secure, because many of these women are insecure, and they're insecure because, again, their fathers weren't there to meet their emotional needs, and they're afraid of a man not being there. They like having this child there who can nurture them be a security blanket, like a teddy bear. And as he's like a teddy bear, he's there to just be somebody that they can hold on to, but he cannot go out here and reciprocate like a man would, because a man, when he's in a relationship interdependently with a woman, what he can do is share in that relationship. He can help meet her emotional needs, and that's what a lot of black women are afraid of, and they don't want a man to become like this. No, they want him to be a child that they can have power over and hold like a security blanket, but that's a very unhealthy and dysfunctional relationship for a woman. But sadly, this is what happens when you have women who don't want to deal with their trauma. And because they don't want to deal with their trauma, they're sitting there thinking, oh, I need to have this relationship with this Pookie, and I need to keep him from working, because if he doesn't work, he won't be able to go out here and become the man who will go out here and abandon me. Because many of these women, again, they fear being abandoned by a man because they saw their fathers abandon or abuse their mothers, or they saw many of their boyfriends do them dirty. And this is why they don't want Pookie to have a job, because they hold a lot of hurt in themselves, and some of them get angry about that man going out here and abusing them and having power. So they look to deny other black men that power. And again, this is another reason why she doesn't want Pookie to have a job. And again, making sure that Pookie doesn't have a job makes sure that she remains in control. Unfortunately, as she remains in control, she's actually sitting there talking about how she wants a good man, but the irony is that she's keeping this man from becoming a man by going out here and helping him have a job. Now, some people will say, oh, her helping this man get a job would be emasculating to him. No, it's not emasculating at all, because one of the ways a woman builds up her man is by encouraging him to get work, and helping him get work means you just find some information for that brother, and then he goes out here and follows through on the process. Basically, when a woman loves a man, she's going to go out here and say, hey honey, there's a job opening over at the company, and I think you'd be good for it. And that's all she does. And then that brother's going to go check that out. And once he checks it out, he's going to be like, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go apply for that. Or he's going to go talk to a dude about it. And from there, he's going out here and putting in his own work. And once he puts in his own work, then everything, if it works out, he's going to be out here working. That's what a woman who loves her man does. She's not going to go out here and say, I'm going to go get the application for you like some child. She's going to say, okay, there's some information here. Okay, this guy says he's looking for somebody, and he's going to go out here as a man, and a brother is going to be happy that his woman looked out for him like that, because it shows that she's really serious and about keeping their relationship together, because she's looking to help this man be built up. And again, women, they are helpmeets to men, and they help a man by helping him get work, because when he's working, it's going to help you to come closer together, because he's going to respect you for going out here and giving him that word, or putting that word out for him, because that's what a woman does when she truly loves her man. Now, when women don't love a man, they'll sit there and let him wallow on her sofa, sitting up there watching this man beef and argue with brothers online in between his games of Madden or watching YouTube videos. That's not really encouraging that man to actualize his potential. No, all that's doing is keeping that man sitting on your sofa like a son, sitting up there playing video games, arguing with men online, and that really isn't helping that man grow. And again, when I look at these situations, again, they're buying him the sneakers, buying him the clothes, letting him drive around the neighborhood, or in some cases, getting him dressed up to stand outside the Arab corner store. That's not helping empower that man, and they're not helping empower that man because they want to maintain that power, and they want to maintain that power again because they don't want that man to have power, because in some cases they fear this man, once he gets power, thinking he's going to be able to go out here and get a better woman. And that's a foolish notion, because if a man truly loves you, he's not going anywhere. And a man who truly loves and is dedicated to a woman, he's going to be grateful for that sister helping him out, putting down in that word for him, getting that work, and he's going to love that woman more because he understands, hey, this sister was looking out for me when I was down, and now that I'm coming up, I'm going to stay with that sister because this sister was here for me when I was struggling, and now that I'm up, I'm going to elevate this sister because this sister was here for me when I was at my roughest, and now that I'm coming up, I'm going to stand and stay with this woman because we're going to be out here building our household together. That's what a woman who loves her man would do. And she would say, hey, I want this guy to go out here and get work, and I want to help him find his purpose because a man sitting on my sofa is somebody I'm not going to respect because instead of him growing up, he's growing old. And instead of him being a reflection of the best of me, he is an embarrassment to me. And that's what these guys are over time. Because eventually, what happens in your codependent relationship with a Pookie is many of your black women get frustrated, many of them get angry, and they get angry at these men because they see that this man is not growing up. They see him growing old, and they see an overgrown child sitting on their sofa, going out here playing Xbox, arguing back and forth with the same dudes online about black women. Meanwhile, every one of his needs is being met by a black woman, and he's not out here looking to meet his own needs as a man. And again, that is frustrating for a black woman who is educated and professional in one of these corporations. She's seeing all of these white and non-black men going out here doing the things that men do. And when they come back to their male, this Pookie, they see a man in the role of a child, and that is a thing that frustrates them about many of your Pookies. But they can't see that while they go out here and provide for this man like a mother, what they can't see is that if you want this man to be a man, like many of the white and non-black men that you deify and worship at the office, and possibly in some cases drop the skid mark thong on the side and provide him with a taste of the atomic waste, what happens is you don't see that while you give this man everything, the one thing that could help him the most, you don't give him, and that is that job that will allow him to start standing up like the man you say that you want. The one thing that would help this man grow is that job, and that's the one thing many of your educated professional black women, they'll go out here and buy this man basically everything, but won't let him get the information so that he can go out here and put in his own work and go out here and get the job that will allow him to have the money to go out here and start building his own life. That is the whole thing that I find to be like a paradox as related to your modern black woman. The thing that I find to be a paradox is many black women, yes, they'll go get the Pookie, they'll buy him everything, but the one thing that they won't help that man go out here and get is a job. And again, find it to be the most interesting paradox as related to your modern black woman. She will go out here and buy this man everything, go out here having him look fly, have him going out here driving around in her car. But if that man starts to go out here and start making moves, that's when she got a problem with this dude. Because the minute your Pookie or your Thuggo, your 12 gauge Mike, or your Rondell or one of these other dudes goes out here and says, hey, I want to go take some training in PC repair, or I want to take some training in automotive, or I want to start going out here and start flipping some cars. The minute you start saying you want to do anything as related to and building up your economic power, that's when this sister is going to get her eyes growing wide. That's when she's going to start getting scared. And that's when she's going to have a problem with you because you're not staying in the baby boy role and you're starting to take those moves to become a man. And these are the things that scare your modern black woman. She is scared of you having power. She's scared of you having confidence. And she's scared that, hey, maybe if this guy starts coming up, what's going to happen is other women are going to start checking for him. Other people are going to start checking for him. And he's going to look to move on. And the whole thing is she can't understand that a man moving forward is a good thing, because when a man moves forward, what happens is y'all move together. And when y'all move together, you're going to a higher level, because if he's got his own money and he wants to combine his money with yours, y'all can build a home and a family. And in some cases, if he moves on, again, that's another good thing, because your investment is paying off in this man becoming his own man. And instead of you having to have a man to depend on, to take care of, you have a man who can go out here and work with you towards building a household. And instead of him being the child, he can go out here and be the man who you wanted him to be and be that leader that you want him to be. And again, instead of him following your lead, he's showing that he can set a direction for himself. And again, a lot of women, they're not ready for that, because again, the daddy issues and the insecurities get the better of them. And this is what messes with many women. Again, they sit there and say, oh, I'm trying to help this man, but the irony is they can't see how they're hurting this man. Because if you really want to help a black man out here, if you really want to see a black man go to the next level, the thing that you do is not buy him stuff. No, you give him the information to go out here and get that job, because once you get that man a job, he's going to become a man on a man, and he's going to be somebody who will be able to actually be able to help you by being the man who's supposed to be the head that the Most High established in his order. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my men's issues books, like The Man Crisis, The Woman Crisis, and the book that I go in depth on this dysfunction, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, you can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find those books at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.